What's up, guys? I want you to see this video. So, I'm back again with another video. Pay attention, guys.
Now, we've been receiving some eye-popping reports from some grocery workers and people that are driving by farms. And let me tell you guys, it's not looking good. And I'm getting updates on the shortage of corn and even shortages of rice. Now, I've even been hearing from some people about canned vegetable shortages in some areas. Can you believe that? I know it's not hitting everybody, but it's like the shelves are emptying right before our eyes in certain locations. But really, the bigger issue at hand is the new and growing crisis of hunger happening right here in the United States. Here, check this out. Jackson is the state's largest city, yet it has one Walmart and one Kroger. Behind me is a boarded up food depot. It used to be one of the other options for fresh produce and meats in this part of town, but it shut its doors last month. Folks who live here tell us the closure was partly due to crime, but also nearby dollar stores taking more business.
It's just terrible. We have convenience stores, like they on every corner everywhere, and we need more grocery stores.
In a city where 26% of people live below the poverty line, stores leaving town is just part of life.
Things open and things close all the time, so we just deal with it as they go by.
But with food options now more limited, the USDA says 1 in 5 people in Jackson are considered food insecure.
There are no grocery stores in walking distance from this area.
A recent study from the Institute for Local Self-Reliance calls out dollar stores for pushing larger grocers out of urban and rural areas. Food banks in California, like the food bank of Contra Costa and Solano, they're seeing huge increases in the number of families that are seeking help. Now, before the pandemic, they used to help about 175,000 people every single month, but now they're serving 350,000 people every month across 2 counties. Now, in case you guys didn't have a calculator out, that means that that's double the number of the people that they were helping before. So, there's this one Senate bill that wants to increase the minimum CalFresh benefit through Senate Bill 600. Now, the idea is to raise the amount of money that people get every single month from $23 to $50. Now, it's not a whole heck of a lot of money, obviously, but it's certainly a step in the right direction. But let's be honest, $50 is still not enough. And if you look at New Jersey, they're giving out $95, and their cost of living isn't as high as those living in other places. So around 41 million people in the United States, which is about 1 in 8 Americans, were affected by cuts in food stamps. Pandemic allotments gave individuals an additional $250 per month for food. Families saw a big increase, but now, thanks to the EA expiration and an increase in Social Security payments, seniors and the disabled, they're facing a double whammy with their increased income having been reduced their eligibility for SNAP. So basically, they got a raise in Social Security, but then that raise made them ineligible to get benefits from SNAP and EBT, or at least it reduced it. Now, in fact, SNAP and EBT reductions effective March 2023 have essentially hit every single beneficiary, regardless of whether or not they're disabled, elderly, or even school-aged. But then you got this debt ceiling bill that came into the market and basically was set to make this food crisis even worse. President Joe Biden and Republican Speaker
Come on, man.
the House, Kevin McCarthy, agreed to raise the limit on how much money the United States can borrow. But along with that decision, they also made some other very, let's just say, unpopular choices and decisions that could ultimately hurt a lot of Americans, along with a freeze on future social spending, further cuts to the remaining C-19 relief, and a mandate that federal student loan recipients resume debt payments in August. So the deal includes a mandated work requirement for temporary assistance to needy families and programs. Now, they're actually saying that adults under 54 who need help from the program called Temporary Assistance to Needy Families, they have to work a lot harder to get the help that they need. Now, let's take a quick moment and think about this. Is the program called SNAP enough? Well, the truth is, for a lot of people, it's not. Now, many people want SNAP to be bigger, to be more helpful to communities, and to help local businesses grow. Some people have taken it upon themselves to learn medicinal plants and edible weeds. So these people literally grow their own food and they make their own things. Less dependence on food industries and groceries. So guys, as you can see, things are really quite tough right now. But don't worry, we're here to help. Let's get all this information together so that we can learn about the real situation on the ground and not just.
All right, pause. Now, it is shit hit the fan. but it's just the beginning of it. It ain't got worse yet. It did not get worse yet. It's just the beginning.
This what's being pushed by mainstream media because they tend to overlook things and let's just say not reveal as much as we'd like to know about. And as they say, observe the ants and learn from them. Now it's only July and the little creatures are busy storing food anyway. No time for the beach and vacations for those guys.
People, he just said this now. He was talking about preparedness. I hope we catch that. He was talking about preparedness.
Guys, they know what's coming, but do we? All right, so first headline here, a catastrophic hunger crisis. California food banks, they're being flooded by families seeking help. Yeah, the situation with food banks in California, it's getting definitely a little bit concerning to say the least. Now, during the pandemic, more and more families started seeking help from food banks, but now the extra benefits are coming to an end for these 5.3 million Californians and a whole lot more Americans across the country. The statewide Food Banks Association, they're calling it a potential catastrophic hunger crisis looming over us this year. So basically, you got food banks that are transitioning from being emergency aid providers to becoming basically long-term supermarkets for Californians that are facing food insecurity. Now, emergency allotments, SNAP, EBT, and all that, it basically ended March 26th, which means that some single person households experience a significant drop in their CalFresh benefits from $281 to as little as $23 a month. I mean, you may as well just cut it off entirely if you ask me. That's like pennies. But if you add to that, a federal program that was providing food benefits to eligible households as a replacement.
So basically, it basically is warning y'all to get prepared. That's what this whole thing is about, is preparedness. Keep prepping, keep stuck on that food and water, keep practicing survival skills. It's just the beginning. It ain't got worse yet. So let's keep going.
For in-person school meals, it will stop at the end of the school year. So basically, this benefit amount is going to be reduced to $40 a month for each child, all the way from $125 per month that families received for each child last summer. Yeah. Now, one of the people that I've been talking to, they're basically a family of 6 on a very limited income in South California. And they're basically thanking our channel because of all of the information that they got from us to stock up more when they had it to spare. So now they have a
Again, talking about preparedness.
Budget of $450 a month. And, say if they hadn't been a part of our Financial Freedom Fan back in the day, listening to our daily updates, they might not have been in the position that they're in today. So special shout out to you guys. You guys know who I'm talking about. But yeah, always watch our video, guys, so that you can be warned ahead of time if stuff does actually hit the fan. And by the looks of things, that could be sooner rather than later. Now, as one of the food banks commented, quote, "We don't see an end in sight for the sustained hunger. And if this is sustained, it's going to be very difficult for us to keep up." Now, one of the proposed solutions is Senate Bill 600, introduced by State Senator Caroline Menjivar. So this bill wants to increase the minimum CalFresh benefit from $23 to $50 per month. Small increase, it would be helpful, but not very much. But in addition to Senate Bill 600, food banks across California support.
All right, now I want to say this. The government is threatening the farmers to mess up their crops. So the farmers are cutting their crops or getting rid of their crops. So the government is paying them to destroy their own crops. So that's stupid to me. Like, why the government is paying farmers and the farmers destroying their own crops? Basically it's an agenda. That's what it is. It's an agenda. All right, couple more minutes. I'm gonna let it play.
Other important bills like SB 348, which ensures access to summer food and school meal programs, and SB 245 and Assembly Bill 311, which provides state-funded nutritional benefits to all Californians, regardless of their immigration status. Now, the situation's gotten even worse with the C-19 era benefits ending a few months back. Now, according to one Social Security recipient, quote, "They notified her during the second week of February, telling her that because of an 8.7% increase to her Social Security payments, thanks to the COLA cost of living increases, the end of the emergency C-19 allotments, EBT and SNAP will be cut to $23 a month beginning in March. Yeah, so let me know if you guys can relate to this. But that's just one story among many, and among the 41 million.
All right, I'm gonna cut this short. I'm gonna play the rest probably tomorrow. I will leave it just like this. So thank y'all for watching. I hope you learned something. Keep preparing, keep prepping, keep stockpiling food and water, keep practicing survival skills. Send here to me, because I'm doing it too. Peace. See y'all later. Deuces.